Hi first graders, let's go over some rhythm patterns together to help you with your worksheet. I'm going to remind you how to clap and say our different rhythms, how many beats different rhythms get, and then I'm going to show you how we draw our different rhythms and symbols that we need. Here I have rows of 4 boxes, 1 row, 2 rows, 3 rows, and in each row there are 4 boxes, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you'll see that I've put one music symbol in each box. Let's go up and review these music symbols quickly. When we see this symbol here, we call that a ta. It's a quarter note, and it's 1 beat of sound. So when I see that symbol, I say ta, and I'm going to clap 1 time. When I see this symbol here, I say ta-di. This is a pair of eighth notes. It's still 1 beat, but now it has 2 sounds. Ta-di. This is like when I take a pie and I cut it in half, right and even. And I'm going to eat 1/2 of that yummy pie, and you're going to eat the other half. We have 2 equal halves. If I put that all back together, it would be 1, and there's our 1, our ta. So we have our ta, 1 beat, 1 sound, and we have ta-di, 1 beat, 2 sounds. We also have our quarter rest, the squiggly here. That's 1 beat of silence. So when I want to add silence to my music, I still have to have a symbol for it, and it has to have a full beat of silence. It has to take up a full amount of sound. So there's a squiggle here, and when we see that, we say shh, or we just think about the silent sound. We can also use a letter Z, and I'll show you that when I write my own rhythms. So here's my first row of rhythms. Let's count how many beats are in this rhythm row. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to clap and say this rhythm, and then I want you to try it on your own. Here I go. Ta, ta-di, ta, ta-di. Your turn. Ready, go. Ta, ta-di, ta, ta-di. So my first box had 1 beat and 1 sound. My second box had 1 beat but 2 sounds. It's 2 sounds, but I only put it in 1 box. I didn't put it into 2 different boxes. Next one, 1 beat. Next one, 1 beat, 2 sounds. It's a bit of a pattern there. Let's try the second row. Same thing. I'll clap and say it, and then I want you to try and clap and say it. Here I go. Ta-di, shh, ta-di, ta. Can you try that? We're doing this row here. Ready, go. Ta-di, shh, ta-di, ta. And let's do the last row of 4 beats on my page before I show you how I'm going to compose my own rhythm. Here I go. Ta, sh, ta-di, ta-di. No, I didn't clap it that time, so this time I'm going to clap it. I want you to listen closely to what I do on my rest here, and then you'll try it. Here I go. Ta, ta-di, ta-di. So that time I didn't say my sh sound, I just was thinking it. Can you try this last row on your own? You're either going to say or think that rest there. Ready, go. Okay. Now we're going to go and compose our own musical patterns using our different symbols and rhythms that we have. So I'm going to make this a little bit bigger, and I'm going to start with a 4-beat musical pattern. And when you look here and it says compose, to compose something means to write. So you are going to write your own musical patterns like I did earlier. So I'm going to I'll use like a pink color. And the first thing I'm going to do before I clap and say a pattern is I'm just going to remind you how we draw our musical patterns. So first I'm going to start with a ta. It looks like a lowercase letter D, but remember I have to color it in. Now it's a little tricky for me to color in on this computer, so I'm going to do my best. So there's a ta. Now I'm going to do a ta-di. So the way I like to do this is start with 2 lines. I like to connect those 2 lines across the top of the bar, and then we need note heads. That's those little extra dots down here. So I'm going to add my note heads. All right. Now, remember what I said with that rest? It's kind of a squiggle, or you can make a letter Z. So in my last 2 boxes here, I'm going to show you that I could do my rest like I saw on the page before. It's kind of like a sideways letter M almost. But you could also just do a letter Z, and that would work too. So I want you just to think in your head, what would Mrs. Steinhoff's composition be right now? Think it in your head, and then let's clap and say it together. Ready, go. Ta, ta-di, sh, sh. How'd you do? Remember, this and this are both rests. I just drew them a little bit differently. I'm going to erase this composition, and I'm going to write one more. Can you think to yourself, how many beats did we say that this composition, this written music is going to be? Think about how many boxes are in front of me right now. And I hope you said 4, because that's what I'm thinking. I'm composing, I'm writing a 4-beat musical pattern. So I'm going to write one now, and then I want you to think about what it's going to sound like. And then you're going to clap and say my pattern. And then on your worksheet, you'll compose your own musical pattern and see if you can teach someone at home how to clap and say it. So here's mine. So there's my 4 beats. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Even though this first beat is going to get 2 sounds, it's only taking up 1 box. Can you clap and say my composition? Ready, go. Did it sound like this? Ta-di, sh, ta, ta. I know you're all smart cookies, so I bet it did. Now we have one more activity on our rhythm sheet for this week. Now I've asked you to compose, to write your own 8-beat musical pattern, because I have 8 boxes. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have to go to the next row, just like reading a book. 5, 6, 7, 8. So now I'm still going to use my same 3 symbols, but I have to make it even longer. So I'm using all my first grade rhythms. I'm going to compose or write my 8-beat musical pattern, and then I want you to clap and say it on your own. You might be able to even clap and say it as I go, but then we want to put it together on an even beat. And see how I'm drawing my different rhythm symbols? If you have other ways that you want to draw them, as long as they look like this, that's okay. But I like to start with that lowercase d filled in. And you could even do 2 lowercase d's for your 8th notes. and then just tie them together. It's up to you. So there's my rhythm pattern. Let's see if we can put all this together. Now remember what we've done in music class before. When we're reading something that has more than one line, we have to read it like a book. So I'm going to start on the first line. I'm going to read left to right, and then I have to go down to the next line and read left to right, just like reading a book. So let's clap and say my rhythm together. Give it one more look. 1, 2, ready, go. Ta, ta-dee, ta-dee, ta. Sh, ta, ta-dee, ta. Now what you're going to do is you are going to make your own compositions, both 4 beats here and 8 beats here. You're going to clap them and say them, and then see if you can teach someone at home if they can clap and say it. I want to see those compositions after you compose them yourself. I'm excited to see them, and I will be excited to clap and say your compositions too.